GMGM guys, in today's YouTube video we're going to be talking about how you can interact with a simple counter program that is deployed on Solana. And the first thing you want to do is to deploy your counter program, obviously, and good for you, you don't need to bother about that. You can just, we already have a template code that you can clone, right? This template code you can use follow along, right? So when you clone it, you're going to have something like this. Just quickly get that. Alright, so then you can come to your counter.rs here, copy it, go to Solana PG, right? This is an online editor for creating smart contracts, creating Solana programs, right? So when you come here, you're going to have to connect your wallet or create a new wallet and make sure that you have DevNet Sol on that wallet, right? So currently my wallet connected where it has 7 Sol, so you need to have some Sol. Yeah, so you're going to paste it here, and you're going to click on build. When you build and it builds, builds finish, right? You're going to see something like build completed, right? Then you can deploy. Right, so we're just gonna wait for it to build completely, but while that is going on, yeah, so we're just gonna wait for it to build completely. So but while that is going on, let's connect to our emulator. Right, so you guys can follow along. The next thing we want to do is to make sure that we build, right? We need to reload this page. So make sure that you build, and then you see something like build completed, then you come over here. So once build is successful, you're going to deploy. For me it is upgrade because I've already deployed previously, right? And it's still the same wallet that is connected, so I can upgrade the contract on chain. Alright, so then you're going to need your IDL, right? But if you use this same contract, your IDL is going to be the same thing that is here, so it's probably already in the code already. But then you're going to need your program ID, because your program ID is what tells Solana that, oh, this is the exact program that we're trying to talk to, because there are different programs. So this is what we use to identify the program you're trying to communicate to. So yeah, we're going to let's try to run this code. I believe it should be running. They might have some errors though, but yeah. So to get straight into the service for this code, we're not going to edit the UI. I mean, it's already, everything is already there like that. It's very basic UI with just buttons. So once we're done with the service, we're done with it. First thing we want to do is to connect to the Solana RPC client, right? Yeah, and then we want to initialize the program on chain. So if you come here and look at the ideal structure here, you're going to see that we have instructions, right? And then we have accounts, and then we have errors, right? So looking at the instructions here, we have initialize instruction, right? So this initialize instruction is what we're going to first work around. Then we have increment instruction, right? So the instruction is pretty much you telling the program what to do, right? That's what the instruction is. And then the account is pretty much what what accounts are interacting with the program, right? So let's get into it. So our UI is running, and this pretty much this everything. So what we want to do in initialize is we want to get our wallet from the private key. Remember in the last tutorial we already made use of private keys too. So this is not what's the last tutorial. This is just like if you watch the first tutorial where we generated the wallet, that this is the private key as a type of list of int. So just put it in something like that and we can easily use in our Dart code, right? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So here we want to make sure that we're just pretty much initializing the whole thing here. So in the init state we're going to I should have initialized in the init state, but yeah, but it still works. So now we want to drive the counter PDA. Yeah, that works. Now the next thing we want to do is to get the counter value. So if you're curious about how many ones I'm putting here, is just from the system program. The program ID is system program. And I'm sure you're also curious about what this is as the initial discriminator. So there's a way Anchor works, right? So how it works is that this instruction now, let's say initialize, you are going to create something like this, right? This is text. I'm not sure, but I believe this is exactly how it is. So you are going to hash this with SHA-256 function, right? And then you are going to take the first 8 bytes from that 256 bytes, whatever you get from the hashing, right? You're going to take the first 8 bytes. So these are the first 8 bytes when you try to hash that. Now this process is very long like this because in that we do not have an Anchor client yet. Like in TypeScript they just use the Coral XYZ client, right? The Anchor client, because Anchor was like built focusing on TypeScript. But I believe by the time this video is out and in like some time we're going to have like our own that client for interacting with Anchor, right? So it's going to be like just a few lines of code, because by then our discriminators can be generated dynamically. Then other stuff doesn't need to like have this much lines of code, just like how we have our Solana client and we can do stuff easily. Don't need to start thinking about how to create a public key, a key pair that conforms to EDX 5519 hashing function, right? So yeah, that's it. So now we're just trying to create a message, right? So in the instruction we're putting in the program ID, right? That's the program that is going to execute this instruction. The accounts that take part in this instruction, right? The instruction is just telling Solana what to do, right? So the accounts that take part in this instruction is the counter PDA account, right? The wallet that is the signer, right? And then the read only, which is the system program. And then this data is going to be like carry the body of the instruction itself, right? So yeah, that's it. Then we're trying to create a message, and then we're going to send that message and get the signature so we can see what happened on chain. That's the goal of this video. Yeah, that's it. Just want to print out some information now. So now I just added the link so that you can like check out the signature on chain on net, right? So here we're just going to print the error string, right? So it should be here. Let's work more on the error. So now I want to increment the counter. It's pretty much the same process, but like the discriminator is going to be different, right? So we skipped. Okay, we did initialize. Oh, we did skip is working on get counter value. I think that's using refresh. So in the in the Anchor program you can't increment more than once or hundreds or in one, so that's why we're creating this check. Let's just make this. So I'm just copying this from my notes because you have to like hash it and then like get the first 11, 18, 104, 9, 104, 174, 59, and then 23. I'm just going to copy and paste this TF signature from over here. No, just not just that, then this. And now we can just edit the did the print statement. So the way this UI is, I believe that so that's pretty much it about interacting with an anchor program, right? So it's a little bit slower because we're debugging wirelessly, but yeah. So what we're going to do is try to initialize it. Yeah, so I've initialized it. Um, so because I'm using the same program I've used before, right? It's already initialized, right? I can try to increment it. And so let's check out the let's check the transaction on chain. Yeah, so just happened now, and if you come here, you see something like instruction increment, right? So that means you're on track. That means you're on track, but I think it's skill issues or it's just like that specific issues, but with the service with that I've not been able to implement this get counter value, right? So I believe that when we have like an anchor client, with something we'll be able to implement properly, but the counter value is usually like, I don't know, it's usually always changing, right? So yeah, that's it for today's video, interacting with an anchor client with that. Interacting with an anchor program with that. Yeah, so that's it for today's video on interacting with an anchor program with that.